Good morning, welcome to Match Fishing in Spain. My name's Ian Brown. As promised, I'm going to show you all about the slow sinking feeder. There's lots of them already on the market. This is one made by Brownie. I think it's called a Xenos, and if you look at that, it's got a little ball on top, a little cage and a connector. What you do with this is you put little weights in there, and then just to get it sinking however you want. Floats at the moment without the weights in, but if you put the weights in, you get it sinking to wherever you want. But they're about £3.75 each. Next up is this other slow sinker. Again, these are about £4 or £5 each. Same thing, put weights in the top, that just floats at the minute. It's a little cage and you get it sinking how you want. Now this other one is just a bomb, a depth bomb I think it's called. Thing with that does sink. You can put weights in and you can get it just sinking. If you look in there, it just sinks. So that's them. Now onto the ones that I'm going to make today. These are the ones that I'm going to make. Now you will see that they look like something out of your granny's hairdressing kit. Well, you're right, they are. They're just hair curlers. There's 3 different sizes, all with exactly the same thing on. The difference with these is they're an open-ended feeder. So if you get your ground bait right, unlike these, when you throw these in with pellets or ground bait, a lot tends to stick in there because you've got a top. With these, the splash when they hit the water, the ground bait comes out and then that sinks. Now the reason I've got 3 sizes, it's nothing to do with how far you throw it, it's to do with the rate at which they sink. So this is the smallest one, and if you put that in, it just starts sinking. As you can see, just sinking in the water. By the time you've got a pellet on or whatever, goes down whatever. This is the next one, exactly the same, just sinks. And the same with this one. This is the biggest one, and that's just about sinks. So they all sink at a very slightly different rate. The biggest one, sounds daft, but the biggest one, because of the weight of the plastic, sinks the slowest. Now on the day, you've got to decide whatever. I mean, a pellet, when you throw a pellet in, it goes down like that. It doesn't go down like that. It goes down at a fair rate. So that's what you're trying to imitate. You shove this full of ground bait. You've seen the videos of me fishing Argos. It hits the water, the ground bait comes out, and then that slowly sinks. You can see it's hit the bit on the bottom there, so that slowly sinks. So that's what we're going to make today. So to make it, you need a hair curler. These are £1.50 for 4, so obviously a lot cheaper. Now these come with like a grippy bit for, you know, curling your hair basically. Not be curling my hair, but curling somebody's hair. So what you've got to try and do somehow is get this off here. So I use just a pair of scissors. You shove it under there and you cut it. When you cut it, it just comes off. It's just glued on slightly, just comes off, and you're left with what you want. Now that's a bluey colour. Obviously they're sometimes better in a clear colour or white, but it really doesn't matter, because that is just where your ground bait's coming out. So we're going to make the biggest one, say. So you've got to look where it is, the biggest one. So you cut it to whatever size you want it. So you cut through the bits, just a pair of normal scissors, nothing else, and you cut the bit off that you don't want. So that's the bit I've cut off dead quick that I don't want. Then you're left with all these bits and you just trim them off. Just trim them off with a pair of scissors so that you get a nice flat bottom feeder. So that's what we've got. The next thing you need is some nylon coated wire trace. So you buy this, again this was €2, $2.50 actually, for 10 metres. So you know, you're going to get a pair of scissors again and cut that with the scissors. And what else you need are these tubes, little brass tubes that are used for obviously making trace rigs basically. So you get your wire, difficult to see I know, and you pass it through. This normally has a wide strip, so they've got all these little strips. It's got the wide strip. I put it around the wide strip on the outside because that's got the most sort of area. So it's going to take a bit of stick. We keep throwing it out, this feeder. So if you put it on that bit, right, thread the tube on, put it through here, double that through the tube as you would a normal trace, and then just pull the big end down. So you get a nice neat bit like that on the feeder. You can see that on the thing. And then you just get your pliers and you just crimp that with your pliers, and you've done one side. So again, get your tube, put your tube on first on the next bit, your sort of sealing tube. It's a bit finicky, especially with my eyes, but put the tube on first, and then through the other side, on the outside I go, pass it through and pull it down to however long you want it. So however long you want this, and I'd suggest that's a little bit too long, but you can make it shorter by pulling this end, he says, hopefully. So you make that a little bit shorter. So work out where you want to cut off your wire. So put that off so there. It's a little bit finicky, but you do sort of eventually get the hang of it. So when you pull that down a bit more of that. So there, get your pliers, crimp it again, and that's not going to come out, and that's it, finished basically. So when you're putting your feeder in, that's attached to your line, and obviously you're dunking that in your ground bait. I then get one of these swivels, which it's a number 8 one I use, one of the safety snaps, or ones with the little bit that you can move out, you know, so you can clip it on. So that would be attached to your line, and this bit, swivel, just clips onto the wire trace. You fasten it up, and then when you throw it in, it hits the water with the ground bait in. It goes like that, and it just starts sinking. You can see that it's just sunk. So there's virtually nothing holding that there, but you're able to cast it because of the ground bait. So as I said, these are ones I've made. You saw that, it's a bit finicky. I'm outside, it's a bit windy, but it literally took me not 5 minutes to make it. And once you get going, buy a pack of these, you can make 10 in about 10 minutes, and they've cost you about 50p each. Might look a bit, you know, sort of Heath Robinson-ish, but trust me, in those videos it definitely works. And the beauty is you're open at this end. You get the consistency of your ground bait and your pellets correct, you're able to cast it, but when it hits the water it pushes them out, so they fall above, and then your feeder just falls in all that feed, and then that's where you're getting the takes. So anyway, any further questions, send me a thing and I'll be only happy to help. Thanks for watching.